Hey guys, Steinixos here. So today, in our agenda scaling series, the series where we employ some of the same tactics that other members of the power scaling community use to overinflate their favorite character strength, today we'll be applying that same methodology to none other than Enel, so you can see what it would look like if I were actually scaling through a biased lens. Now right off the bat, Enel is straight up stated to be a god, and this isn't something that's up for debate. It's confirmed on multiple occasions throughout the arc, so this is something that simply can't be disputed. He is a god. Now gods, by definition, are beings that are at least universal. So that's our baseline when we begin evaluating Enel. However, the moment this topic comes up, there are always detractors who try to say something like, just because someone is called a god doesn't mean they're actually strong. But honestly, that argument feels a bit silly to me, because why else would they be called a god if they didn't possess godlike qualities or powers? But fine, let's say for the sake of argument that the title alone isn't enough. Let's put the name aside and actually look at his actions, his characteristics, and his feats. So firstly, one of the main ways people tend to understand what it means to be a god is through what's called the omnitriad. That's omniscience, omnipresence, and omnipotence. In simpler terms, being all-knowing, being everywhere at once, and being all-powerful. So, if Enel demonstrates all, or even some, of these characteristics, then his status as a being with godlike abilities obviously can't be questioned. And you see, we already know that Enel possesses at least two of these traits. Now let's start with omniscience and omnipresence. Enel is explicitly stated to be able to see all things. That alone is a divine quality. Because think about it, the only way someone could truly see everything would be if they knew everything, which would make them omniscient, or if they were present everywhere at once, which would make them omnipresent, or perhaps he's both. Either way, by virtue of him being able to see all things, Enel already meets the standard of at least one of those two divine attributes. And then there's omnipotence, the quality of being all-powerful. It is literally stated in the story that Enel has this quality, and it is not just stated once, but rather, it is reiterated multiple times. So Enel's status and strength as a god simply can't be questioned. He quite literally embodies at least two of the three defining characteristics of a deity. Furthermore, again, it's not just statements that establish Enel's divinity. We actually have clear quantifiable feats that back up his strength as a god. You see, one of the best examples of this is his attack called Mamaragan, a technique where he summons a literal storm of gigantic lightning bolts raining endlessly from the sky. It's not metaphorical, it's not exaggerated, it's visually and narratively portrayed as an overwhelming divine level judgment from above. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. The author himself has confirmed that Enel's lightning attacks move at the speed of light. So when you take even a single bolt of lightning from that Mamaragan attack, and you actually break it down scientifically, things get insane. If you pixel scale the bolt's length and width, you can calculate its approximate volume. Then, by plugging that into standard physics equations to determine energy output, especially factoring in the fact that it's traveling at light speed, you start to see just how absurdly destructive his power really is. When all that math is done, what you find is that even a single bolt from Enel's Mamaragan attack reaches a level of energy that's at least universal in scale. So again, whether it's through direct statements or through his feats, it's quite clear that Enel is undeniably a god, possessing godlike strength with at least universal levels of attack potency. And you see, it actually goes even deeper than that. Because what most people don't realize is that we're only scratching the surface here. Enel isn't just portrayed as a typical god, he's described as something far beyond that, something closer to the outer gods you'd see in Lovecraftian mythos. Characters in the story describe him as literally invincible, and Enel himself tells us that he is fear incarnate. Not just someone who inspires fear, but someone who is the very concept of fear itself. So yeah, Enel is a god in every conceivable sense of the word, and he is likely far stronger than what I can even portray with this video. But anyway, that's the video guys. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. But anyway, see you guys next time.